updated computer, re-downloaded it, deleted the file, was working, uninstalled, re-downloaded again, and finally started to work.
We had to just slap it 1, 2 times, slap it up just a little bit, get it right.
Mhm.
Um,
I'm about to switch from the phone to the laptop.
but either way, I'm gonna have it all on YouTube too, so be able to
Okay.
go back and look at it. Have you ever been addicted to this coffee? But
Testing, testing.
I can hear you well.
Good, sir.
Can you hear me? How's the mute background music? Is it loud?
I actually don't have the background music. I didn't know you could switch between it because when I first opened it, I clicked join the watch party or whatever, and it was playing while you were talking. And it was fine. But now that I clicked it on my laptop, I haven't joined back into the YouTube background music. I don't hear it.
Okay, no worries. It's peaceful for me. Um, but
Yeah,
what
no,
I'm gonna
I
go
did
ahead.
mine.
You did
Just
yours.
joined it back now.
But
Uh,
let's see. Christian, what's up? Christian, Dominic's my brother. Christian, you're my brother from elementary. Feel me? What it do? What it do? Do you think?
oh,
Oh, Damo. Ah. Hmm. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. But yeah, so all I'm gonna do really is kind of just go over the potential setups, and then just like over the fair value gap and breaker block situation, just to see like how we could have used it today, but also for yesterday as well. Let me see. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Let me see. So from Dom, are you there? I'm just gonna label. I'm gonna start labeling some stuff.
okay.
So the first thing, and I think I have that in the chat. I'm gonna put it on the side of this actually, so we can reference it. Give me 1 second. Discord B. I want to reference. I have to log in again. What the hell? Hold on 1 sec. It's just a list of. I want to list out every time I do it. I'm just gonna list out the stuff so it just becomes second nature. But it's the 1 hour run, 5 minute stop hunt, and then the fair value gap breaker block 5 minutes. All these chats. Let me see. Blah blah blah. This is our checklist. It's our checklist for entry. And the most important thing is also time. Time. Time plus price. Okay, so got our entry checklist, time and price. So we need the 1 hour run, the 5 minute stop hunt, the 3 to 5 minute breaker block and fair value gap, and then the displacement for entry. So the first thing you're gonna do is go on the 1 hour time frame. So we're on the 1 hour up here. This is trading view. Do you already have this, Dominic? Trading view?
I downloaded the Ninja Trader.
Yep.
I haven't downloaded on my laptop yet, which is what I need to do next.
It's straight. If you're gonna be mostly phone based, I have a friend who's mostly phone based. You can download TradingView. That way you can mark up the charts. You can get familiar with the time frame. So up top it shows the times, and then on the left hand side it shows the currency or futures pair. I only trade MNQ. So that's the Nasdaq. That's like a bag of all the stocks and stuff. And then the M just
Yeah,
means micro. So it's just there's another version of it called NQ, but it's the same thing, just less risk. It's like less. It's worth less when you put in one trade, right? But it's really simple. You're really just waiting until about 9:30, and you're looking for these specific areas to be hit. So this first line down here is going to be the 1 hour run. And what a 1 hour run just means is you want to see a candle take out another candle, a set of candles like a red or green like pair. You want to see this candle right here take it out. That would be considered a run on liquidity. So you could say 1 hour run on liquidity. Um, Here, Preston's here. So 1 hour run on liquidity. So that's the first thing. Once you have that, you're gonna look for the same thing, but on the 5 minute time frame. So if you go to the 5 minute, right? Right here where you see price takes out this low right here, that could be considered a 5 minute run. So 5 minute run slash stop hunt. And all that means is the stop hunt just means there's people who took a buy there that they have their stop loss to protect their trade. They have it below the low. So price comes and takes that out as a 5 minute run, right? Or 5 minute stop hunt. So we got the first two things of price action that we wanted. We got the 1 hour run, the 5 minute stop hunt. Now we're looking for the 3 to 5 minute breaker block and fair value gap. Okay? So it does vary. But for this one it's gonna be pretty clean or pretty. I don't have the 3 minutes on my chart. I just use the 5 minute ones, but you're gonna just get a box and you're gonna look for the lowest part of price. So right here is the lowest part of price. This leg down is the lowest part, right? A breaker block in a downtrend, right, is the last set of up close candles that cause the lowest low. So this last push, you're gonna see it, and whatever green candles are associated with it, that's gonna be considered the breaker block. So you can drag that across. Breaker block. So it's a 5 minute breaker block. There's probably more on the 3 minute. We can look at that as well, but I want to first frame out the 5 minute one first. Hey, what's up? What's up, Emil? How you doing? This is all also being live streamed on YouTube. I'm gonna make sure to always live stream them so that we can go back and look at them, and I'll put the links in the chat. I can make them private or I can leave them public, but you guys will all have access to them. That way I don't have to save them on my computer, but they'll still be available. But we're just going over the entry model for on NQ. I'll be happy to go over another pair, but for now, just to confirm, we first look. Can you see my screen good, everyone?
yeah.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
So we got the 1 hour run right here. That's just a pair of candles right here being ran by this candle here. That's the 1 hour run. You could also say this wick being ran by this wick is a 1 hour run. So it does have some room for adjustment where you can say that it's a 1 hour run. And the 5 minute stop hunt. So we just jump to the 5 minute time frame and we're looking for the same thing. So that happened here. You can also say down here's a 5 minute stop hunt. Either way, it's a stop hunt. So after that, we're looking for the 3 to 5 minute breaker block and fair value gap. So the breaker block is the last set of up close candles in the downtrend, right? So this is considered the breaker block right here. If you go on another time frame, there would be another breaker block as well. Some would also argue this could be a breaker block, but for me, this would be the most relevant breaker block. Now, how I would use this before 9:30 is I would label this as potential breaker, and then when 9:30 comes or close to 9, you're looking for entries. Fridays you may have a little bit earlier opportunity, but this is the 5-minute breaker. Now for the fair value gap. So the fair value gap is essentially, there's a few of them you can actually see. So there's a fair value gap right here as well. And it also shows another, I believe you could also consider another breakers below this, and I'll show you that as well. So there's multiple entries that you could have done today. Let's just say this is the 5-minute breaker. Any questions? Sorry.
What is Atlas? Not program.
Oh, this is Trading View. Trading View. So this is Trading View. This is where we mark up everything. If you buy a Trade of 8 account with Apex, you're allowed to trade on this directly. I personally don't prefer it, but some people do like it, especially if you're a phone trader. But here's a 5-minute fair value gap, and just to be quite honest with you, I did mark this as a 5-minute breaker, but someone else could have also marked the last down candle right here, because this creates another candle that goes lower as a 5-minute breaker, right? So that's potentially 2 different 5-minute breakers, and what you're looking for is the overlap between the breaker and the fair value gap. So right here could have been an entry. What I like to do is either reduce the boxes to the overlap or put another box on that overlap, and that's all you're really looking for to find a good entry. So this is the 5-minute time frame. You would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 different 5 times 5, about 25 minutes to potentially enter this trade, right? That's the first trade. If you marked up this as the breaker, if you mark this as the breaker, if you look here, price takes out that, because technically it's an order block until it's broken. Once it's broken and it gets retested, that's when it becomes a breaker. So if you look, there's another fair value gap within here. So you definitely have to watch the fair value gap video to understand the fair value gap. I'm going to zoom in. The fair value gap is when there's a, like let's say, like this candle right here. The candle before it and the candle after it, there's a space where they don't overlap. So that will be considered a fair value gap. And these are the 5-minute ones. So I prefer the 5-minute. They're more reliable because they allow you to get the intraday move or the full day move. So if you were able to see this ahead of time, you could have capitalized on this entire up move, right? The timing that you'd have to get in though would vary. So we're looking at you getting in between 8:10 to about 8:15 here. That's not my preferred time. I was obviously asleep, and I don't trade Fridays anyway. So that's why I'm going to really be teaching a lot on Fridays. And over here, you can see that we dipped into this overlap. We're looking for overlap. 5-minute fair value gap. I don't know if this is clear to you guys. This is the 5-minute fair value gap. Let me label it better. 5-minute fair value gap, and then we have the 5-minute breaker block. So the breaker block is the last set of up close candles in a downtrend. The fair value gap is when there's a expansion in price, and then the candle before it and after it do not overlap. So if you look at this candle right here, we're looking at this green candle, this yellow one, this wick does not overlap the previous green candle's wick. So that would be considered a fair value gap. And this is the overlap. So with the overlap, you can literally just put like overlap box. Also, you could essentially just leave this fair 5-minute fair value gap as the entry box because it contains most of the overlap. But if we just count the time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11. 11 times 5. We had 55 minutes to get in this trade. So 55 minutes here, 25 minutes here. I'm going to put just 55 minutes to get in, because I don't want you guys to think, oh, I missed my entry. You have a lot of time if you know what you're looking for. And then the last entry came at 9:30. 9:30 is the key time and price that you want to enter. 9:30 Eastern. So you could have got in early, but you never have to worry about it if you wait till 9:30. Price is going to come back. And on a lower time frame, it's going to be another breaker block entry here. A unicorn entry with a breaker block and fair value gap. But I'm not focused on the low time frame ones. I want to just focus on 5 minutes. So there would have been two opportunities if you got up earlier to find a 5 minute setup to go up. Now there are some higher time frame confluences you can consider. Price ran London's low, right? And then from there, we took out the most recent lower high, and that could tell you market structure shift. You could take this as a market structure shift, but the main thing you want to know is time and price. So you want to enter trades around 9:30. If you want to test out the pre-market, you can. You can see there was room for the actual trade. Let's say you put the trade here, right, in the middle of this box. I'm just going to give a reference for how much it would be worth, right? The stop loss I recommend is typically below the low. So below this wick, this purple area represents a stop loss, and then this area represents the profit target you're aiming for. So what I would say is we're aiming for a higher time frame PD arrays. Give me 1 second. I need to go to the restroom. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second, okay?
All right.
If you ever plan on trading multiple sessions, make sure to save risk. If you plan on trading multiple If you plan on trading multiple sessions, make sure you reserve some risk. For instance, if you're willing to lose $600 in a day, allocate $200 per session. That way, if you're able to get multiple trades, you can break that down further to about $100 per trade, limiting you to between 1 to 2 micro per entry. That way, you can take as many setups as you see and managing risk. The key is always to reduce risk. After that initial risk, you will be able to scale in and turn 1 to 1 to 2 to 1s into higher risk reward trades. Also, you'll be able to reduce your overall risk by having an entry with just one contract. I am currently live streaming. Everything is being live streamed on YouTube. I will allow YouTube to post the link, and I will share the link in here so everybody can review what I'm going over. I'm going to continuously go over the same thing. It is going to get annoying and repetitive, but that is the key to catching this model. Bah, bah, bah. No, no, no. Stop. Bryson, stop. Stop, stop. Stop, stop. Bryson, relax, man. Bah, bah, bah. Stop. Stop, baby. Stop that, baby. Hello? Okay, I'm back. So we went over the first two buy side entries, right? We had 55 minutes to get into the second one. We had about 25 minutes for the first one. Does everyone understand that part about how much time we had to get in?
Uh, yes.
So I'm just speaking about like how many times did the candles re-enter the overlap of these boxes? So we had about 25 minutes on the overlap here. We had about 55 minutes here. So that's over an hour and a half of if you just sat there, you could have been able to find a trade.
Wait a minute.
Go
Wait a
ahead.
minute. Wait a minute. Your screen is not showing.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Share. Share. Can you see it?
Mm, no.
Give me 1 second. Let me reshare it.
Audio check. Audio check.
Oh, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning. Yeah.
What's up? Just give me a second. I'm trying to just share the screen again. Sometimes it just acts a little weird.
Yeah, when you stepped away, it shut down your screen.
I had turned it off, or I thought I had turned off my like sharing the camera part of it,
Camera, yeah.
but you can't see the trading screen, can you?
What's that?
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me try to reopen and close this out. Give me 1 second.
So it looked like optimal entry would have been like if you woke up earlier, and if you traded on Fridays, right around like 7:30 or so, right after everybody stopped off and hit, and it started to go back up.
Um, yeah, we can still hear you. Give me 1 second, Dominic. I'm gonna comment on that. I just want to bring back up the screen. Share your screen. Share. Okay. So.
Yep, we're loaded back up. Yes, sir.
Okay, and then the camera part. Let's see if the camera part. Okay. So what you're saying, Dominic, is, huh?
No, I was saying this. I'm definitely not trading from the phone.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have the big view.
Yeah, the phone.
The good thing is my Surface Pro, the keyboard attaches, and I can use my pencil to kind of mark out everything, so that helps a lot.
Yeah, drawing on it is key. It's really like an art because it's all subjective. You might see something I don't, and that's why I want to have journals so I can review everything with you and just make sure that whatever you see most, we can use that. So if you're available early and you study this part of price action, is definitely an opportunity. But let's say hypothetically you were up at 7:30, right? All you got to do is mark up this area as a potential breaker, and you're just waiting for price to actually break it. If price doesn't break that box, it's considered an order block. And order blocks are still useful, right? Let's say if you wanted to sell it, it could still be useful. But in what we're looking for breaks. So this breaker block, potential breaker block here was broken, and then you see a fair value gap. So that could be a potential, you're going to look for entries here, right? And then let's say you're there, you got your stop below this low, right? And you have to accept the initial risk. So if the stop's below the low, this says 38 points. I trade MNQ. That's worth about $2 per point. So let's just round this out to about 40, right? So 40 times 2. This would be $80 risk in a trade. And then the potential gain, you're looking to make at least 1-to-1. And this is, Dominic, this is a thing that shows you like what the buy and sell would look like. So in the middle, it would show the return. So this would be like a 1-to-1. And then this would be 2-to-1, but you can target the higher time frame PD arrays. So a PD array is like any concept such as breaker block, fair value gap, old high, old low. Those are considered PD arrays. I will put a link to what the PD arrays are. ICT has a lot of them, but the yellow line I have on my chart is an indicator that indicates midnight close. The blue line up here is London high. So you could have used any higher time frame PD array as a target. So midnight close, So I'll send the link. It's in the chat too. I'll send the link for these indicators and then making sure to set them up correctly. You don't have to have them. You can mark it yourself, but I prefer to show up to the chart and have them ready for me. Midnight close / open. And the reason these are important, so session highs. So there's London session, New York session, Asian session. Every session has highs and lows. Those are important areas and price we want to look at. When the session low is right here, this is the green box is London, and the blue box for me is New York. So midnight close open is the yellow. This will be London, and then I know I'm just giving like a kind of a crash course, but New York. Wait, why did the London one disappear? London, and the music's gone too. London. Up here should be midnight close. Your stream is running. We paused for preview. Midnight close. Can everyone still hear me and see me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So right now, the main thing is the fair value gap and breaker block. I know it's kind of crunched up, but there was multiple versions of it. It can't be a breaker until it's broken, literally. So when this push happened, you're anticipating it to come back to the breaker. You see that fair value gap? You're looking for it to retest that. Same thing here. Price breaks out of this level, comes back right into the breaker and fair value gap. That's two potential entries. And then you're targeting the highs, right? So if you're getting 2 to 1 out of it, that's more than enough. And then for this sell side trade, we can look at how we could have got into there. Let me just copy this, and then I'm gonna pretty much delete everything else, just so we can look at the other side of this trade. And then let's just let me delete everything. Remove drawings. Paste. So still want the entry checklist. We're gonna go to the 1 hour time frame again. Right? So all you're looking for is for the candle body to be ran by a wick. So right here, we hit the midnight close area. See, it says midnight open, midnight close.